This is so scary, right? First of all, I am invited by a university, by a business university, to do TEDx. So your expectations of me are huge, and my expectations of myself are huge. So let's get this out the way. You must be expecting that I am highly qualified, or that I am extremely wealthy, or that I have created a piece of technology which has revolutionized the world. I haven't. You have no PowerPoint presentation from me because I can't do technology. This is my technology. It's the bead. I haven't used a business plan. I've used a blank piece of paper. I don't have any qualifications, and my bank account is 0. It's no joke. But I am the most successful person in the world. And that's because my definition of success is that I wouldn't change my life with anybody else on this planet. How many people can say that? And my objective is to get everybody to be able to say that they are successful because they believe in themselves and they perceive themselves as successful. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. And if you don't perceive and present yourself as successful, nobody else is going to believe that you are the success that you can become or that you are now. So, you must also have guessed by now that I must have had an easy life coming up here. Not at all. At the age of 16, my dad told me that business is no place for a woman. All Indians are going to be doctors, dentists, or pharmacists. So I got packed off to university to do pharmacy. Less than 3 months and I dropped out. It wasn't what I wanted to do. At the age of 19, I had an arranged marriage. I arranged it because my parents didn't agree with my choice of the boy. An Englishman, a lot older than me. At the age of 23, I was told I was over-enthusiastic. How can anybody be over-enthusiastic for a job? And it was a banking job. So I took my enthusiasm, and I now have 2 beautiful daughters. At the age of 28, I was told I would never succeed in anything that I wanted to do because I was a woman. That is by my now ex-husband. Yes! And the reason he's my ex-husband is because he put me on the floor and he kicked me. And he kicked me, and he kicked me, and he repeatedly kicked me. It took me 2 days of lying there on the floor. At the age of 29, the whole of my life, people had told me that I had nothing to give. I was worth nothing. The world didn't really want anything that I could offer. Oh, except for bearing kids and maybe doing the washing and the ironing. Now, either I'm going to lie there and I'm going to be a victim for the rest of my life, or I'm going to be a change maker. So when I could, I picked myself up, I picked my 2 kids up, and I left. Now, I have no qualifications. I have no skills. I have no training. I was in absolute poverty. I'm Asian. I'm female. I'm a single parent. And believe me, when you're a survivor of domestic violence, you have absolutely no confidence whatsoever. What did I decide to do? Become an entrepreneur. Now, yes, it's an entrepreneur out of necessity. but it was what I believed I could start to do to change my life. I made 4 products in my kitchen at home, food products. I went out and I sold those products. I came back in with the money and the profit. And I made 8. And I went out and I sold those 8. And I came back in and I made 16 and 32 and 64 and so on. Until 8 years later, we were producing 10,000 products a week. We went from supplying delicatessens to supplying supermarkets and airlines. We went from my kitchen at home to 2 factories, both in regeneration areas. And we went from just me to 35 staff, every single one of my staff long-term unemployed. And why long-term unemployed? Because like me, society has written them off. What do we say as corporates, as commercial, as companies? Our staff are our greatest asset. How many companies actually believe in their staff? As economies, as countries, the human capital of a country is what makes that country great. Do we invest in our human capital? With 40% unemployed young people, no, we don't. The young people are not the future, the young people are the now. And it's sad and it's sick that we are leaving our young people unemployed. Anyway, that's a different soapbox. Let me get back to the story. After 8 years, I became Asian Woman of Achievement and I became the UK's best boss. And then I failed. And I am putting my hand up to tell you that I failed. Because most successful people will not tell you that they failed. And yet they did. Do not perceive success as just having come out of luck, because it didn't. Very often it's come out of failure. Today, having picked myself up again, dusted myself down, I run what's called the Madi Group. Madi is my name. Madi stands for Make a Difference Ideas. Now, if Versace and Gucci can register their name, so can I. So I did. And my name is a registered trademark. That's how much I now believe in myself. We run companies, private sector, social enterprises, not-for-profit. I'm standing here in front of you. Now, who's running the India operation? Who's running the Macedonian operation? My brilliant staff. Because they have the talents and they have the knowledge that I don't have. They are my brilliant people that make my company great. And I think it's really important that we concentrate on people and human capital. Now, I've told you my story. It's dead easy. If I can do it, you can do it, and you have no excuses. The thing is, you're going to say to me, okay, Maddie, come on, it can't be that easy. How can we do it? No, it is very simple. And I'm going to give you 2 things to remember. I'm actually going to give you 8 things to remember. First is, you need your bead. But second, you need 7 Fs. It only works in English. 7 Fs. The first F, fantasize. Right. If I give you a blank piece of paper, what is it that you would write on the top of that piece of paper as the one job that you would like to do, or the one ambition that you would like to achieve in your world? If I cut off your right hand, what would you do? You need 3 rules. You don't need any money. You don't need any qualifications, and you don't need anybody to tell you you can do it. What would you put on the top of that piece of paper? 95% of you cannot do this exercise. You know why? Because nobody has ever told you before that your life is a blank piece of paper. Whatever you put on it can and will come true. So start. Put on top of that piece of paper what it is that you want to do, what you really, really want to do. Be very clear. Read it out every morning and every night, and I guarantee you it will come true. Second F, feasibility. Is what you want to do feasible? That means, can it be done? Is it possible? Everything is possible, nothing is impossible. Look at the people who have done it. Find out how they did it, what they did, and most importantly, improve what they did. Exceed expectations. If your idea is unique and nobody's done it before, don't assume it's because it's impossible. It isn't. It's because nobody's tried hard enough to make it work, or nobody's even thought about it. Do it. So nothing is impossible, so you have no excuses. So that brings us to the third F, which is your foundation, your knowledge. Do you have the knowledge to do what it is that you want to do? Come on, we're in the age of the internet. You can find out anything. But most importantly, the old man at the end of the street, who's probably retired, probably has huge skills that are of benefit for you. The young person can probably help you with new technologies and new ideas. But unless you ask, nobody is going to help you. Because people don't know what's going on in your brains and what you want to do. And get yourself a mentor. I have 5 mentors. It's people who can really help you. But most importantly, don't forget about the most valuable resource, and that is your staff. Take on people who know more than you know, because then you succeed together. Fourth F is fit for purpose. Now, it's not about going to the gym. You can see I don't go to the gym on a regular basis. It's about being fit up here, 100% positive. Because negatives eat away, and negatives are like cancer, and each one of us has one goal, and that is to make sure that we beat cancer. So let's make sure you don't let any negatives get in there. Get the positives, keep the positives, 100% positive, 100% of the time. No excuses. Fifth word, Europe's favourite word. Failure. Failure is the chance to have another go intelligently. If you haven't failed, you haven't learnt. Failure goes with one other word with F. It goes with fear. And you know, it's not that people fear failure. It's that people fear success. You won't apply for the job of the President of the European Union just in case you get it. Because what will you do when you get it? How will you manage? The whats and the hows are not important. You know, people don't start companies in case they sell 1 million of the product. Well, what happens? How do we manage? What do we do? Don't worry, we're there to support you. All the entrepreneurs across the world will support you if you get an order for 1 million of a product. The financiers will come out and they'll throw money at you. Don't let these things stop you from being successful. Which is your 6F then, is your focus. Can you see what it is on the top of your piece of paper? When you close your eyes, you should be able to see it. You should be able to picture yourself in that position. Every time you talk to somebody, you should be talking about what it is that you want to do. Whatever you desire, the universe will give it to you, but it won't give it to you if it doesn't know, so you have to tell everybody. And the 7th F is face. You have to be the face today of that person you want to be in the future. If you've said that you want a salary of 10,000 euros a month, then start acting today as though you are worth 10,000 euros a month. If you've put down that you want to be driving a fast car, start talking about fast cars. If you're going to run a multi-million empire, make sure you know how the successful people have already done it. Read a book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a world bestseller. You can get it in any language. Every successful person in the world has done the same thing. We focus on our definite purpose. So what's on the top of my blank piece of paper? Do you want to know? 7 billion ideas to action. That's my goal. That's my definite purpose. It's why I have 7 F's to remind me of the 7. And I do it with this. Why 7 billion ideas to action? If I give you €1 and you give me €1, we each have €1. Agreed? Okay, some mathematicians in the room. If I give you 1 idea and you give me 1 idea, we each have 2 ideas. There are 7 billion people on this planet. If each person only has 1 idea, and that 1 idea is turned into an action, how many of those ideas could solve the current challenges that we have? Climate change, poverty alleviation, hunger, lack of oil, lack of water. It is not going to be our fat and selfish politicians who are going to solve any of the problems. Their egos are too big and they're too selfish. It's going to be the yous and me's of this world. It's going to be the real people with the real ideas that are going to make the difference. Have an idea, put your idea into an action. You take this and you put it inside your wallet. And every time you open your wallet, you see your bead and you remember your commitment to make change. Ghandi said, you must be the change you want to see. Madi says, you must be the change you want to see. No excuses. Thank you.